Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our Student Success Celebration webinar. I am Melanie Bocanegra, the new AVP of Student Success. I know this was originally supposed to be a beautiful outdoor barbecue where we all got together and ate food and enjoyed one another's company and celebrated one another. I want that to still be the spirit with more of a bring your own food and bring your own beverage webinar. So hopefully you're enjoying our program today with your food and beverage of choice. So thank you all for joining us. So just a few logistics. The chat function of the webinar is currently off for security reasons, but we will be sending around a feedback survey, just general open comments for you shortly after the webinar is done. Today's program, we'll be hearing from the president, the provost, myself. We'll be acknowledging past participants and presenters, as well as our student success champions. And we're going to end today's program with messages of gratitude. So it's going to be a really uplifting webinar for all of you, and I'm really happy to share that with you. So without further ado, I want to turn it over to President Harrison, who will address us with some encouraging words.
I am so impressed. I'm looking at the list of participants. There's over 150 people here virtually today. So I am really glad to be with you on this 6th meeting of the Provost Student Success Series. I want to thank everybody and really congratulate you on the work that you've done this past academic year to support our student success through this series. Today's session is not only going to build on what you have done, but also celebrate and affirm your work. The Student Success Series has engaged and inspired people all across campus, as seen in the group that's here. Just scroll the list of participants and you can see there are so many people from all over campus: advisors, faculty, staff, student champions, and so forth. And I think one of the purposes of the series was to build these kinds of partnerships across campus and a unity of purpose that we all have to help our students achieve their educational and professional goals. I'm really glad to be here today to celebrate and share with you in the celebration of good work that's happening across campus from our Office of Student Support, Student Success, the college student success teams, the use of data, and our faculty and staff student success champions. I recognize that your hard work really comes from an unwavering commitment to help our students achieve their goals. Northridge has a reputation for being strong and resilient. We know we are as a university community. Your response to the challenges that we're facing today, I think, also reflect that resiliency. I myself am confident that even with the current public health crisis that we are finding ourselves in, I don't think that it will diminish our work on behalf of students and the student success field that we are in. And I think the fact that all of you are here today kind of underscores that fact, and I want to thank you for your efforts. I'm proud of the way our faculty, our staff, our campus leaders have all leaned in and adapted as well as we can to the new environment. Different people and places across campus have found innovative and creative ways to continue serving our students and helping us advance our mission. And I think today's meeting is going to move that forward even more. And I'm really glad to have Melanie here as our on board as our new Associate Vice President of Student Success. She's going to spearhead this priority for us, further unify us to build our community. And along with the support of Cindy Greco, who's the Senior Student Success Specialist, and the leadership and guidance, obviously, of our provost, Mary Beth Walker. And Melanie, I would just say to you, despite our physical distancing, I appreciate you joining us and at this very crucial moment to help keep our students engaged, to help ensure that they persist and are successful, particularly in the next months ahead and in the coming fall semester. Again, I want to thank everybody for being here today. I want you to keep your focus on student success now more than ever. To use a United Way phrase, this really is important. It is so important, and we don't want any of our students slipping in a crack or falling in a crevice that they can't get out of. So really, thank you for everything that you're doing. I'm confident we're going to continue to mark progress with our GI 2025 goals. So with that, I will pass the baton back to Melanie, and thank you all for coming.
Thank you, President Harrison. We appreciate those words of encouragement right now. So next, I want to bring up the Provost, Mary Beth Walker, who will be talking to us about all the past success events that we've hosted and really highlighting some of the progress that we've made. So Provost Walker.
Hi, everybody, and thank you for being here with us at the last of this year's Student Success events. Thank you, President Harrison, for your remarks to all of us. And Melanie, we are so happy that you are here. We have been doing a lot of work waiting for you to get here, and so now we're excited to continue to move forward with your leadership here. So I want to take a minute and thank all of you, our students and our wonderful staff and all the wonderful faculty who have worked so hard to make this pivot mid-semester to working in this virtual environment. And I have heard so many really good stories and listened to faculty helping each other and students writing to talk about the support they're getting. And so I think that despite the unusual circumstances, just as President Harrison said, we are really showing our resilience and our ability to come together and to keep making things happen for our students. So thank you all for that. Despite the fact that for the past month, and you know, frankly, it seems like it's been going on for 10 years now since we all made the switch. But despite this, we do want to keep our focus on our goals for success for all our students. We are a place where students from all backgrounds can succeed and thrive. And we are continuing to show that ability and make progress in those areas now, despite the fact that we're all sitting in very different places all over the metropolitan area. So we've still got goals, we've still got plans, and let's talk just for a minute about what all we have done over this year. So we started off in October, and we had a wonderful session where, oh, go back to the first one. Yeah, thank you. We had a wonderful session. Remember, all the VPs across the divisions talked about how all their work supported student success. We heard from a great group of students, and I so enjoyed getting to meet these students that day and talk about this. We started defining student success and looking at all the ways that everyone plays a part in it. From that, we moved on to next slide, please. We moved on to a workshop event. This was more like an academic conference where we had breakout sessions, and we had a variety of topics there where we talked about many of the different issues that our students face and how we might move to support them in all these different ways. So from that, we went to, and this was, I believe, in November, and my friend and former colleague, Dr. Allison Calhoun Brown, visited us from Georgia State University, and she talked to us all about the ways that we use data-informed decisions. We look at the particular areas where students might be struggling and then work to make changes across the institution in specific areas and more broadly to remove the barriers that prevent our students from moving on to success in a timely way. That was a wonderful event. We got a lot of great comments after that event, so I enjoyed that very much. More recently, we had the wonderful visit where we talked about how inclusion, and Dr. Pendekar talked to us about all the purposeful ways we create strategies that help our students have that sense of belonging. And that was also just a remarkable event in the ways that the ways that people commented on her remarks, and her excitement and her belief in what she was doing, I think really resonated with all of us. She was very impressed with us. Afterwards, she and I talked, and she thought that, well, she said, special things are happening here. And I was really glad to hear her say that. She felt like she could believe that from the momentum that we had and the enthusiasm we had. And so we had a good year. We had a lot of interesting things going on in these events. But I also want to point to just a couple of things that we also had going on. The first of the things that we've done is, and I'm looking at this is a little different. This slide is a little different. A lot of interesting stuff. I'm getting almost to that. I just wanted to also say that a couple other things we've had going on this semester is that Academic Affairs brought in 2 faculty affiliates. So Dr. Frankie Augustin and Dr. Marquita Gamage joined us to really work across specifically with the equity gaps that our students face, both in in some of their courses and in the overall graduation rates. And they have spent a lot of time talking with faculty, with chairs, with groups, the student success groups in the colleges, and they've already brought so much value to the table in helping connect people's ideas and their concerns across the university. And so I think Melanie's going to really be able to use some of that information to help inform some of the strategies that she might want to put in place. So they've been wonderful additions, and they're here with us today, and we'll have some things to say later. Another interesting thing that's happened, and this was largely through the suggestion of the faculty affiliates, is a small group of associate deans have gotten together to really tackle the problems, the high DFU courses. So we all know that there's a large number of courses that are gateway courses for our students. A very large number of our freshmen and sophomores take these courses, and they're often a struggle. And the associate deans are really bringing ideas together and looking at the data together. And that's been a very effective collaboration so far. So I really appreciate people's efforts there. So let's now look at, just for a minute, to the progress that we've made so far. So we do have some interesting things to show here. So I'll just bring up 3 items. Good things always come in 3s. So a couple of the things I wanted to highlight is the momentum approach and the results from our fall semester work there. So those of you know, because I have certainly talked about it all over campus any number of times, and I'm not the only one, of course. We know that in this past fall, we saw a 20 percentage point increase in the freshman students taking the 15 plus units. So that's what's referred to as the momentum approach. And we saw that increase in average unit load across every student demographic breakdown. Look at Pell status, non-Pell, first gen, non-first gen, all the racial and ethnic for our underserved traditionally underserved students, we saw all of these students increasing the percentage of them that were taking 15 or more units. Many students obviously still didn't believe that they would be able to do that in the fall. And so about 4 out of 10 students opted not to take the 15 plus units. At the end of the semester, of course, we looked to see what the results would be. How did that momentum group, and if you look at the graph, then the results that you're seeing there are the percentage, or the first one is the cumulative GPAs. So the red group is the momentum group. The red bars represent the students taking 15 plus units. And you see that they overall had higher grade point averages than the group that took 15 or less. You saw that that of that momentum group, they're earning more credits towards graduation. Again, those results, and this is absolutely the important part, those results are true across every breakdown that we want to do in terms of ethnicity, in terms of Pell, non-Pell. And so our results add to the very large literature that show that students of all backgrounds perform well when they really, talk about leaning in, when they lean into college and take that higher average unit load. So that has been a successful student success strategy. You know, math classes for our students, our second area to point to, is we know that math courses are often a challenge for students. You take those freshman math courses and look at how the DFU rates have fallen. So those are 3 of the math courses that are commonly taken by entering freshmen. And we see that back in fall of 2015, the DFU rates in those courses ranged from around 50% to a low of 26.5%, which is not really all that low, but nonetheless, that was lower. Look at what's happened in subsequent years. The math department has worked very hard, has tried different things, have used supplemental instructors, have done a variety of support services for students in these courses. And in fact, the DFU rates are falling. In fall of 19, we saw that the highest DFU rate we saw was in Math 102, which I think is the pre-calculus, to 25.9%. In Math 103, the DFU rates are down to 23 percentage points. So we're making steady improvements there. Okay, the obvious question is, what about the opportunity gaps there? The progress there has not been as even, but if you look at fall 19, we definitely see improvement. We see a reduction in the size of those gaps. So that is, I think, remarkable achievements in an area where the needle is difficult to move. And so I applaud all the math instructors in all the different ways that they have really pushed hard to understand their students and to make improvements in these areas. Another point of progress that I want to point to that I'm really proud of is the way that we have stepped up our involvement of students in high impact practices such as community-based learning and service learning courses. The evidence across the country shows that that level, those sorts of student engagement activities really make a difference. So this is an area, again, the evidence shows that students who participate in these service learning, community-based learning courses are more engaged. They do persist and succeed at higher rates. And it's particularly effective to reduce opportunity gaps. So the Office of Community Engagement partnered with University 100 to incorporate service learning projects in all the upcoming fall sections of University 100. That serves approximately 1,500 students. And I'm hoping that Melanie can help us figure out ways to get that to include even more of our freshmen in those University 100 courses. Now, here's the real challenge. All these projects will be feasible with virtual delivery. And I think that's a remarkable achievement in areas where we, where we applaud the hands-on approach and the community approach. Well, our community will be in part virtual in the fall, but we are still going to make this happen. So, a couple of fun examples here. The service learning projects in collaboration with the Institute of Sustainability will include gardeners in residence. And so we're going to be growing food at home. We're going to be having our own victory salads. There's a project called the Pollinator Ambassadors. That's a great name, isn't it? Which will raise and release butterflies. So there's some real creativity on this campus, and we are really putting it to good use. And so thank you all for all your efforts here. Now, I am happy to turn it back over to our AVP for Student Success, Dr. Melanie Bocanegra.
Okay. Thank you, Mary Beth. Hi, everyone. Next slide. Hi. So there I am, and there I am on the screen with all of you. And so I thought I'd take this opportunity to kind of share with you a little bit about my story and academic journey and how I arrived here in the areas of student success. So I'm very much a first-generation college student. I was raised by very strong women. That's my mom and grandmother there. So for those of you that get to work with me often, you'll probably hear some funny grandma anecdotes, and I always think back to her and her dedication to my studies. So she always told me, put college first. So I will definitely be sharing lots of stories with her, with all of you. So lots of students often ask me, as a first-generation student, how was it that I arrived at a research career? Because a lot of first-gen students like myself don't even know those careers exist. And so I often tell them, well, my research interest started very early on with the Los Angeles Lakers, of course, because that's where all scientific interest comes from. And in fact, I grew up here in the Valley. I was raised here. Those of you who know and were raised in Los Angeles during the 80s and 90s, there was nothing better than watching Lakers games. I was a huge fan. And in 1992, Magic Johnson announced he was HIV positive. And it was really that announcement that changed my view on science in general. I always thought scientists were physicians and people who treat patients. And it really gave me a sense of what was happening behind the scenes with those people who I didn't know yet that work behind the scenes in laboratories to help doctors treat the patients with different medicines and different research. So that was my first foray into science, was looking at HIV. And it was always something that inspired me and something that continued to inspire me all the way through graduation. And when I chose to go to LA Mission College, and I chose to go to LA Mission College in large part because they had a STEM program that promised to place us into research labs in the summer, because I had read about the types of research going on around HIV, and I wanted to be a part of that research as a college student. And that's me with my mentor at LA Mission College, Mike Reynolds, and someone who I still talk to this day. And I constantly go back and get his advice on my career and my love of science. So, I actually got the opportunity through that program to do summer research here at CSUN very early on in my career. I worked with Dr. Stan Metzenberg, who I know has since passed, but his lab was influential in building that capacity in me, making me feel like I belonged in science, giving me that identity and that feeling and sense of self. So CSUN was definitely formative in my early years as a scientist. And so I was able to go on, and that experience really propelled me forward past transfer. I chose to go to UCSD. I joined the McNair program. I joined the California Alliance for Minority Participation. Anything I could get my hands on to create a supportive community that would allow me to be my best self, put my best foot forward, and keep going in research. And that passion really ended up getting me all the way through graduate school. So I ended up at Stanford, and I pursued a PhD in cancer biology. And again, in large part because cancer biology, immunology, and HIV were very much one and the same for me. And it was a research interest that, again, from a very little girl, growing up, looking at my idol, and really moving from that into a very focused research career. And so once I finished, and I did finish, and that was really hard, I really started thinking about my own interests and my own career trajectory. And I took a postdoc that allowed me to teach at San Francisco State while doing research at UCSF. And I was sitting in my lab at UCSF, missing my students at SF State. And I decided to leave my postdoc because the lab just wasn't my passion anymore. I really wanted to go all in to work with students. So I switched gears and I took a job back at my alma mater. So I worked at Stanford School of Medicine for some time, really trying to recruit graduate students and increasing the representation of traditionally underrepresented students in scientific research. And after a few years of doing that, I realized that this was a pipeline issue. And the pipeline issue had to be addressed much earlier in the pipeline than where I was at. So I made that shift from the School of Medicine to Santa Monica College. And so I got to return to my community college roots, if you will, and I got to work with students in the same sort of setting that I was influenced by my mentor, Mike Reynolds at LA Mission College. So I got to design STEM programs that included hundreds and hundreds of students and try to instill in them the same amount of pride and joy and love of learning that I was able to receive as an LA Mission College student. And so, with that, I wanted to just, these are some of the students that at the bottom left, sorry, I'm used to having my pointer going. At the bottom left is a group of students, a STEM cohort that we admit every year. As part of the grant, and we take them to UCLA where they see their own peers give research talks. So, our presenter, Sumi Pendakur, talked about windows and mirrors. And so I think that's really important in providing mirrors where people actually look like them and are doing this type of thing, and it's possible. So it really helps inspire students to pursue these really tough careers and really rigorous majors. I also worked with equity, and I enjoyed working with my chemistry faculty, and that's us receiving an award for a chemistry boot camp we created. And at the bottom right, that's a student, Jonah, who I was able to mentor, and he recently received his master's degree from Cornell. So he's definitely someone that I also go to and ask a lot of questions about his academic journey. So I definitely take that scientific spirit and I apply it to education and helping students succeed. And so really my whole academic story and journey has led me to this moment. And it's really proud that I get to be on the CSUN virtual CSUN campus to work with all of you. So I wanted to share that piece. And in the next slide, I talked about one of the things I asked for those of you who wanted to participate was a quick poll on what student success means to you. And so I was really excited to see the feedback I was getting. And it really fell into a couple of categories. One was a student-centered category. A lot of you talked about getting to work with students, helping them overcome obstacles, rise to challenges. There was a lot of really beautiful things people said about engaging with their community. And I think that's a real CSUN Matador sense of pride that they come back and they want to mentor. And so there was a lot of joy watching students enjoy themselves and achievement. And a lot of you also talked about how that ties back to our student outcomes. degree attainment, retention, attaining and applying skills, finding passion in their careers. And so, there was a lot of crosstalk between these different responses. And some of you really talked about the institutional responsibility, that it's the institution's job to provide student success by bolstering their confidence and creating a holistic environment, one that's safe, one that cares about them, honoring their individual journeys. And many of you tied that back to the institution. Is the institution doing a good job of that? And how we measure that is really looking at, well, what's the dial saying? Are we moving that needle? And that's really what a lot of the responses focused on. And so 2 of the responses that I really wanted to highlight in the next slide, I thought stood out to me, and I wanted to quote them directly. So here, the first one says, all student success means to me that all students, all CSUN students, regardless of citizenship, ethnicity, family history, socioeconomic status, prior education, physical or mental ability, or any personal, educational, demographic, or economic difference, have an equitable opportunity to thrive as learners and complete their degrees without the undue financial or academic obstacles imposed by the campus. And so I really felt like this quote is the beginnings of a mission statement. And I want to thank everyone for sharing their quotes, but this one was one that really resonated with me, because I really think that it has that equity piece in there, and something I think that we need to really incorporate into our student success definitions. And the final quote is actually from our lone student. So one student contributed a quote, and I wanted to make sure I highlighted that. And that says, student success means not only being a successful student, but also taking knowledge learned in school and applying them to the everyday life, giving back to the community, becoming a mentor. All of that is what student success should be. So I want to thank everyone who took the time to take that quick poll. I really love the responses, and I'll be able to use some of that as we continue to work on student success initiatives together. So in the next slide, I want to talk about the role of the office. So, in the future, I really love for us to do more exercises like that, where we create common language around student success. Things like defining equity and equality, diversity, social justice, equity gaps, making sure that we're all on the same page when we're talking about that, so that there's nothing being lost in translation. We're all on the same page when it comes to that. Again, I think that one statement, it was a beautiful start to creating a mission around student success that we can all rally behind. And I want to also make sure that we focus on sharing best practices aimed at closing our persistent equity gaps across the campus. And so the graphic in the right is something that a mentor of mine shared with me, and that really resonated with me. And that was, a lot of campuses take this buffet approach to student success, where you want to, oh, that works, try that. Oh, that looks good, try some of that. And we put it all on the student's plate, and before you know it, we've piled up a bunch of things, and the student can't figure out how to make a full meal out of all the things that we're offering. And so I really look to the Office of Student Success as being the concierge, if you will, to help students take all of that and create the meal that works best for them. And so I'm really excited to provide a framework for us to do that. And I want to kind of transition over to our faculty affiliates who have been doing just that and working with the colleges in terms of looking at data and how to best address their persistent equity gaps. So I'll turn it over to Frankie and Marquita, who will address you right now.
Thank you, Dr. Bocanegra, for giving us this time to share the work that we've been doing as student success faculty affiliates. And so before I begin, I'm going to give us, Dr. Gamage and I, time to introduce ourselves. I'm Frankie Augustine. I'm associate professor in the Department of Health Sciences in the Health Administration program for the College of Health and Human Development.
And I'm Marquita Gamage. I'm a full professor in Africana Studies in the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences.
Mm-hmm. And so as you heard in our introduction, Dr. Gamage and I, we are faculty. And in the work that we do as student success faculty affiliates, we believe, and we know that Provost Walker supports this belief, that in order for our students to be successful, our faculty have to be successful. And so, as it says in this slide here, our goal, which is supporting faculty success, that's been pretty much our lens in the work that we're doing. How can we support our faculty's success in the classroom so that faculty can support their students' success? So our agenda for this presentation is fairly brief. We'll share about the work that we're doing now, and then we'll talk about what we plan on doing next as we continue our work as Student Success Faculty Affiliates. So I'm going to pass the mic to Dr. Gamage.
Yes, so we've had the great opportunity this semester to work with all of our colleges and their student success teams and learn about their strategic and innovative practices that they've been implementing in order to ensure success of their students and as their majors and minors, but also all of our CSUN students who take their courses. We've learned about great strategies such as course redesigns, early start boot camps, and even some quick tip advisement videos as well that were created right in-house in those departments. And so with those great innovative approaches, we got to dive right into the data and share about our momentum stories for our students who are excelling in their programs. And what we're able to see with our momentum is that every single college, every single group of students who took those momentum units, those 15 plus units, were able to be successful across the board. And that was great news to be able to share with them, that their students can in fact succeed within their major taking 15 plus units. Another cool thing we were able to dive into is how do we begin the difficult conversations around DFUs and equity gaps. And what we saw was that we were able to begin some critical conversations around ways to incorporate best practices, ways to address some challenges that the colleges may have begun to observe about maybe how courses are designed or the order in which courses are taken as an illustration. That became some very useful and innovative information that we were able to share across the board to see what are some common things that we can incorporate, but what are some things that we may want to readdress and redesign so that we can best serve all of our students. Frankie, you want to tell them about our work with the associate deans?
Yes, and this dovetails into what are we planning on doing moving forward. And Provost Walker talked about that we've been meeting with a small group of associate deans. And so they have promising practices that have been working in their colleges and sharing information like DFU and rates and equity gaps with their department chairs and with their faculty. And so we are continuing to meet. In fact, we have a meeting planned for next week to continue that conversation moving forward, because the goal is for associate deans to meet with all of the associate deans, for this small group to meet with all of the associate deans. Also, what our work looks like moving forward is we want to create space and understanding that there is a sense of fatigue and exhaustion because of where we are as a world, that this pandemic is literally affecting our public and our private lives. And we want to acknowledge that and be sure that we create space for that. And so the idea of student success might somehow feel like an add-on or an additional burden to the work that you're already trying to do remotely. And so we submit to you that both faculty and student success is a practice that is interwoven into the fabric of the work that you are already doing. And so whether we're talking about your Zoom office hours or your Zoom classes or the emails that you send out to students, that all supports the success of your students. And so we will continue meeting with the Associate Dean Small Group, and we will also be meeting with Administrative Council with the different colleges. And for those of you who don't know what Administrative Council is, those are meetings that are led by the college deans, where they meet with their department chairs bi-monthly sometimes, or once a month. And so Dr. Gamage and I will be meeting in order to share, again, promising practices, meet with the department chairs, and we also want to continue meeting with faculty, working alongside Dr. Bocanegra and faculty development so that we're sharing evidence-based practices. Also continuing to share evidence in terms of how to have these conversations about DFUs, and what are some tips and techniques, what are some things that you can do in the classroom to help lower and ultimately eliminate the DFU rates in your class.
We also want to take our time to acknowledge our faculty who have been collaborating, especially with our advisors and the student success teams as well. Through these collaborations, we've seen increases in our ability to best serve our students' emotional, academic, and professional goals, right? To meet their needs or where they are and to help them reach their long-term goals. And so with that, we want to applaud our faculty and our advisors for all the hard work that they've been doing and how they've been supporting the student success teams in their colleges as well. We want to continue to invite our department chairs across the college to welcome us into their faculty meetings or small group meetings. Dr. Bocanegra and Dr. Frankie will be available as well to meet with you all to be able to share and learn from you, but also share some common and best practices. We're here to help you dive into the data, to help you digest what's taking place and look at the data as an informative tool to help you understand how we can best serve our students and improve the outcomes of all our students so that we can have inclusive excellence for all of CSUN Matadors.
And so with that, we thank you. Thank you for meeting with us during this time. We thank you for this opportunity to share our work, and the work continues.
Yeah. Okay, thank you both. That was wonderful. And I want to just honor and affirm the work that they've been doing all year, this past semester. And even though the pandemic kind of threw a wrench in that, they've been really engaged with everyone. And so thank you for that. So the next piece, as soon as we can figure out how to unmute. Yes, Cindy Greco. Yes, Tim, help.
I'm here.
Okay, yay. So in the next piece, in the next slide, we want to do some acknowledgement. So we want to kind of conclude some of the work that we've been doing and move on to the thanking of everyone who participated in past Provost Success Series. And I want to just take the time to thank the planning committee who really spearheaded all of this. And I want to thank Cindy and Joseph in particular for really handling all the logistics around these events. This was putting on 5 or 6 events in 1 year is a lot, and I want to thank them for their work. So without further ado, Cindy.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Cindy Greco, and I am the Senior Student Success Strategist in the Office of Student Success. I've been leading the planning committee for these events, along with Interim Vice Provost Matt Kahn and his guidance, his very valuable guidance for these events. So thank you for that. On behalf of the Provost Student Success Planning Committee, I would like to recognize those individuals who've presented as part of the series this year. So please take a moment to read through the names of our almost 40 fellow CSUN faculty, staff, and students who have generously shared their wisdom, insights, and best practices in supporting our students. This series wouldn't have been the same without the enthusiastic collaboration across campus divisions and departments. If we can move to the next slide so we see more names. Well, that was fun. It's it's worth noting too that all of the music you're hearing in today's program are student ensembles provided by the music department. So thank you for that. We did want to also acknowledge that many of you attended multiple events throughout the year. We had well over 1,040 something participants and attendees in the events. And we did want to acknowledge that there were quite a few that attended more than 3 events throughout the year. So thank you. Your ongoing dedication to our students and your willingness to be a part of this effort to engage in a year-long campus-wide conversation and strategy sharing session is highly valued. Just wanted to remind you as well that materials and video recordings of all of our previous events are available on the Provost Student Success Series landing page, which is located on the CSUN Student Success website. Today's recording with the music will also be available on the website in about 1 to 2 weeks' time. So again, thank you, everybody. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to Melanie.
Okay. Well, that was fun. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Now I get the opportunity to honor our student success champions. These particular folks were selected by the Matador Momentum Committee out of student nominations. So students were given a few months to nominate faculty and staff champions and share their stories. And so it's a real honor that I get to mention them here to all of you. So these are the honorable mentions that were submitted by the committee: Allison Freeman, University Counseling Services; Lauren McDonald in psychology; Ed Jakowitz in geography and environmental studies; Bradley McGuff in psychology; Scott Plunkett in psychology; Ramon Munoz in EOP and partnership programs. So I want to thank all of you, the wonderful things that your students wrote about all of you and supporting them both inside and outside of the classroom was very inspiring. So I want to thank them for their dedication to student success. And now I want to kind of talk about the 2 champions that were selected by the committee. Professor Alex Ojeda, Criminology and Justice Studies, and Cindy Cruz in the Dean's Office of College and Computer Science, Engineering and Computer Science. So I wanted to share just a couple of things that students said in their nomination forms about these individuals. So I'm going to start with Alex Ojeda. So Alex Ojeda was nominated primarily for the Mentoring to Overcome Struggles and Inspire Courage course that he teaches, for his endless support of students both inside and outside of the classroom. The student says, Professor Ojeda had such a unique approach to his teaching style, it made you want to learn more. I realized how important it was to appreciate life experiences in order to successfully put praxis into play. After I graduated, I wanted to help my community, my own family, dismantle misogyny, understand aspects of mental health, and I looked for the mentorship of Alex Ojeda to accomplish this. Anybody that knows Alex knows that he puts his mind, heart, and soul into helping students thrive without expecting anything in return. So I thought that was just a really lovely dedication to Professor Ojeda's support of students. And so thank you so much for your commitment to students. I know we will celebrate in person very soon, but for now, we're sending you virtual kudos for all of your work and support of student success. The staff success member is Cindy Cruz, who is an advisor in the College of Engineering and Computer Science. The student had this to say: I had a financial hardship and lost my grandfather. Because of this, I failed to keep up with my classes and was placed on academic probation. I didn't know what to do until one of my friends recommended that I speak to Miss Cruz. I went to her office and I spoke to her about all of my problems. She was able to help me come up with plans by giving me resources to stay on track. I truly believe that Ms. Cruz tries her best to give students the help and support that they need, but by providing realistic advice, resources, planning, and information to achieve academic success. I followed her advice. It took a year, but I was able to get off academic probation and improve my grades. I will be graduating in spring of 2020. and I was able to secure a paid internship last summer by putting Ms. Cruz's advice to use. So thank you, Cindy Cruz, for your dedication to all students, and it's been a wonderful, to get to read through those nominations and what students are saying about all of the efforts that you're making both inside and outside of the classroom. So the bios for these champions will be shared on the Matadors Rising website, and you can learn more about them there. So I want to thank Cheryl Spector and everyone on that committee for working with us to be able to acknowledge them here today. So with that being said, we have, I think the next thing we wanted to do was see if we could get this poll working. So like many of our faculty, I've been trying and fiddling around with different things. And so one of the questions we wanted to ask folks was, what are you most grateful for this semester? And so we're trying to figure out how to show you the results of that. So hopefully we can. I don't have control over the screen, but Tim may be able to do that. I don't know which one. Maybe that one, I don't know. Anywho, we can go back to that at a later time to see what everyone said. So the way you can text in your response, or you can go online and try to fill that out. So you can tell us what you are most grateful for this semester. So now I want to switch into our gratitude portion and bring in Dr. William Watkins to thank all of you for your wonderful work this semester. So Dr. Watkins.
Thank you, Melanie. And let me join everyone else in welcoming you to Cal State Northridge. Just hearing your background, you're clearly one of us, having been part of your schooling here in the San Fernando Valley at LA Mission, and even some work in one of our labs here. So welcome aboard. We're looking forward to working with you. We're delighted to be a part of this grand celebration of student success. As you saw from one of the initial slides about the Student Success Series here this past year, Student Success is really a multidimensional, cross-divisional, multi-layered initiative. I mean, our students come to us as complete individuals. They don't come to us as an academic side and a non-academic side. They're holistic in every dimension, and we must continue to remind ourselves to seize every opportunity to support them from every division within the institution. The student affairs area has lots of opportunities to collaborate with our academic partners, in particular to support student success. I want to give a shout out to our provost, Mary Beth, who really just from day one has really been inspiring and has inspired others to really connect to student success and to translate that into real steps and real actions, as has been also led by our president. But when I think about the ways in which Student Affairs has had a chance to partner during this past year, there's certainly been a number of committees that we have Student Affairs colleagues on, all the way from the Student Success Committee itself to participation in the Matador Rising campaign, participation in the Matador Momentum team, and as you saw from the thanks that were given earlier, in just a number of the individual presentations as a part of the Student Success Series. So we're right there with you, right there with the entire campus community as we pull together to lift our students to higher heights. We also do a number of things within Student Affairs, some of them known more to you than others, but we're proud of the work that we've been doing this past year and beyond with our See Sun with a Heart campaign, which is our basic needs initiative, and all of the support and work that many of you have participated in concerning issues of lack of food and lack of housing security. Those kinds of things are really at the core of those things outside of the classroom that we have to fortify and shore up to make our students experience one that is complete and successful. We have our CSUN mentorship program that's based out of the Office of Student Involvement and Development. And big shout out to our team over there who are really helping to create special mentoring opportunities for our students. You're all probably hearing a great deal about our Medicare grants programs and initiatives, and I'll solicit all of you now to give to that fund. You know, our students have been hit really, really hard by the virus, and loss of employment and et cetera. We've done a great job of keeping many of our students employed on our campus, but in other spaces for our students, they have been less fortunate. And so the fund permits an opportunity to support our students in that way. Our counseling center has spent this past year, last fall, with our Let's Talk program, being out in spaces around the campus where we can take counseling support directly out to our students. You know, I probably ought to stop there and going down the list of things that are done in the student affairs area, because each and every one of our departments really does embrace student retention, student graduation and success. It's really a part of why we're here. We're the student educators outside of the classroom, and we believe that we are just joined shoulder to shoulder to the work of our faculty colleagues in lifting our students and helping them to grow, to be inspired, and to leave our campus fully capable of going back into their communities and to their families and bringing light and lift and capacity wherever they may find themselves. So thanks to everyone. Particular shout out again to my colleagues in student affairs, but a shout out to all of you. Let's keep it going. Thanks, Melanie.
Thank you. Thank you. And so one of the division leaders that submitted a statement, I'll read that for him, is Colin Donahue, our VP of Administration and Finance. So he had to say that this is just one of those times when saying thank you doesn't seem enough. However, thank you for your continuous dedication, strong work ethic, support, and resiliency, not just during these times, but every day. Special thanks to the essential staff and those of you who are working on campus. I am truly grateful and appreciate everything you do for CSUN. Thank you to all CSUN employees, faculty, and students, showing innovation and persistence to ensure that we are serving our campus community, and I am proud to work with such a talented, caring group of professionals. I appreciate everyone in every capacity at CSUN, and I wish you and your families health, strength, and peace. And so I want to now switch over to some videos that were also submitted by some of the other VPs in the other areas.
Hi, Rob Gonzalez here. Thank you so much to my colleagues in University Relations and Advancement. You guys have been terrific. It's been a hard month, but you've risen to the occasion, and I very much appreciate it. It's an honor to be serving with you. To our faculty and staff colleagues, we've been amazed at the speed and creativity with which you've changed just about everything we do to support our students. So thank you so much. And last, to our students, you have once again demonstrated your ability to overcome obstacles and your hallmark tenacity. You're an inspiration to everything that we do to support you and the great mission of California State University, Northridge. Thank you, and go Matadors.
Over the last month, we have seen profound changes in the way the CSUN community learns, works, and connects with one another. We're working and living in ways we could have scarcely imagined just 6 short weeks ago. Technology has become an important connective tissue in our lives, enabling us to continue to learn, collaborate, and serve our students, faculty, and staff. It has also presented us with new challenges. Our faculty have had to pivot quickly to rethink how to engage students and provide instruction. Likewise, our students have, within a few short weeks, all become online learners. Staff across the campus are working diligently to make sure that CSUN services are available online and that the work of the university in support of our student success continues. To all our faculty, students, and staff, I thank you for your willingness to try new things and your patience as we all learn the best way to operate together. The IT division is here to support you as you make these transitions, and I encourage you to reach out to us with your questions and your suggestions. I wanted to convey my deep gratitude and appreciation to CSUN's IT team. They have worked tirelessly to assure the availability of our technology, deploy new hardware and software, and support our students, faculty, and staff as our campus has transitioned to virtual learning and remote operations. They did this while themselves adapting to working remotely. It has truly been a remarkable team effort with collaboration with colleagues all across the campus. Each and every member of our team has made their contributions directly or indirectly to support our efforts. I'd like to take a moment to highlight just a few of their accomplishments. The academic technology team, and especially the Faculty Technology Center, have done a yeoman's job offering extended support hours and increasing the number of faculty training sessions, serving over 1,000 faculty over the last month. The User Support Services team has coordinated with all areas on campus to gather tech device requirements of faculty and staff as they have transitioned to teach and work from home, procure these devices, build them, and distribute them for use. Similarly, in collaboration with the University Corporation and other campus divisions, we have set up an extended tech device loaner program for students involving laptops, hotspots, and webcams. The challenges of the market supply have all been hurdles we have consistently needed to cross. The team is continuing to work through these obstacles to assure that we can get equipment in the hands of those who need it. The Infrastructure Services team has worked on deploying virtual phone capabilities and cloud-based virtual lab computers. They and our information security team are working on a daily basis to make sure that even as our utilization of technology grows, our infrastructure is available and secure. The digital transformation team has helped develop new e-process paperless forms that have enabled the device loaner program and other departmental needs to enable remote working. While challenges remain, I am proud of the work of our team and thankful for their extraordinary effort. As we move forward, we do so with a renewed sense of how our work in IT connects to the broader mission of CSUN and the success of our students. With this sense of mission, we will continue to work from these early experiences and improve our capabilities to support the work that lies ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I just want to thank Ryan and Tim from the IT department that were part of this webinar today. Thank you so much. And I want to turn it back over to Provost Walker for her closing comments.
Well, thank you all. Again, this has been a great program today. I have enjoyed every bit of it. And my hearty congratulations to Alex and Cindy for the remarkable work that they've done with our students. And also, along with Melanie and Cindy, I want to say thank you to the folks in academic technology. Ryan and Tim, you've done a great job on these series this whole year. I want to also take a moment. I'm grateful for the way you all have welcomed me into your community. So, you know, I got here last summer and I wasn't quite expecting the pandemic, but, you know, there are many other surprising things along the way. And I have been made to feel very welcome. I've met so many of you and worked with some of you, and I appreciate the hard work and the creativity and the commitment and the compassion that you bring to your work every day. So I'm grateful for that. All my colleagues across campus have really been partners and leaders in this work. And I think that we have come a long way in this year, and we've got a lot of good work ahead of us. So thank you for that. And thanks to Matt Kahn, especially for helping put this whole thing together and keeping it moving. He's been great. So what are we going to do next year? So that's an interesting question that we can all think about. I would like to see us continue to do some of these programs because I think that they bring us together and allow us to share our successes and talk about what works and what doesn't work. And so I'd like to see us continue with this. If you've got ideas for a specific theme for an event for one of these series next year, then please let us know and we will see if we can put a program together around that. And I also want to assure you that I know we owe you a bang up reception with interesting food and beverage that we can share together. So let's look forward to that sometime next fall. So let me just end by saying that I know we are working in a situation now that we really never imagined, that how this would pan out and that we would be doing this. We are doing a great job. It's difficult sometimes, and I can attest to it being tiring a lot of the time. But I think we are getting through it. We're getting through it together. We really are stronger together. And we will continue to be resilient matadors, and we will look forward to a great next year. So stay strong, matadors. Everybody give yourself applause. Thank you.
Wild.
The crowd goes wild, yeah. Thanks, everybody. And
Thank
I
you.
look forward to working some more.
All right.